In the words of His Beatitude Cardinal Pierbattista Pizzaballa, Patriarch of the Latins of Jerusalem, yet another Holy Week at war.
Non è la prima volta che c'è la guerra, quindi non è tanto.
This is not the first time there is war, so it is not so much the war that makes it more difficult, because we have had so many wars, but the context of hatred, resentment, lack of trust, frustration, all these negative feelings that act as a backdrop, or even a substrate, if you will, for war, to make it much more difficult. More difficult also is the lack of prospects. Previous wars were known to end, and then somehow we would start again. Now you don't know. Clearly, one will have to start again, but one does not know how. All this makes the climate much heavier.
Questo rende il clima molto più pesante.
The Patriarch highlights the gravity of the current moment in Gaza Parish.
Non è la prima volta.
This is an intolerable, incomprehensible situation. It is not the first time they have used hunger as an instrument of war. I don't know if it is an instrument of war. I'm not military. I don't want to get into this. However, it is objectively an intolerable situation. We have always had so many problems, all kinds of problems. Even the economic situation, financial situation has always been very fragile. However, hunger has never been there. The first time we have to deal with actual hunger, this is intolerable. On this, I think all religious, political and social communities must do everything they can to break this. Beyond the humanitarian tragedy in Gaza, there is also a very serious problem for Christians in Palestine and the entire Holy Land. It is common that the economic emergency in the Palestinian Authority territories, particularly in the Bethlehem area, is very clear, obvious and acute. Also the churches, all the churches, especially the Patriarchate, the Catholic Church, the custody, in short the various realities of the Catholic Church, are working very hard to support the emergency. To create work, at least temporary, we need the situation to be unlocked. In the Patriarch's words, also an invitation to pilgrims to return to the Holy Land.
Credo che sia tempo anche di invitare
I think it is also time to invite the pilgrims to return to the Holy Land. I understand very well that there is so much fear. I understand that the images coming from the media are frightening images. However, I think it is possible today. It is safe to make the pilgrimage to the Holy Land. Maybe not as complete as in the past, but it would be a very beautiful, very concrete form of support for the small community in Bethlehem. There are many prayer initiatives in all religious communities to help keep hope alive.
La preghiera è un grande aiuto innanzitutto, soprattutto a Pasqua. Diciamo che i due momenti.
Prayer is a great help, first of all, especially at Easter, because the two main moments of the liturgical year, Christmas and Easter, cannot be celebrated without saying the name of Jerusalem. In a special way, Easter is an embrace that the whole Church of the world, in prayer, makes to the Church in Jerusalem, where Easter was celebrated and is still celebrated in the same places. And then it is also a time in which there is the Good Friday collection, which is an important tool. It is a moment, however, in general, to remember that prayer must also turn into action, a gesture, a concrete attention, especially to this small church, this small community.
Ha una vocazione molto importante che è quella della testimonianza cristiana qui in Terra Santa.
The Patriarch also speaks about the importance of maintaining the Christian witness in the Holy Land in prayer and also with financial help.
Non si può pensare a Gerusalemme.
You cannot think of Jerusalem without Christians. You cannot think of the Holy Land without the Christian presence. From the very beginning, from the time of Jesus, we have always found ourselves here, in the places to make memory of the very life of Jesus, of his witness, especially as the Church. So we will have an Easter witness here. So it is important that this, which is the vocation of the Church, continues here in the Holy Land with a small community. That even if it is small, it keeps alive the concrete memory of what Jesus did here.
Di ciò che Gesù ha fatto qui.